Hello and welcome to video number 14. This is me learning how to use the AKAI MPC Live III and passing on to you all my tips and tricks as I do so. My last video was all about the grid view, this thing here, and this is kind of a part 2 of that because there are quite a few things I didn't mention in that I wanted to, so just going to carry on with that to start with. I mentioned how hard it is in that video to select notes with your finger. So if I go to the draw tool there and put a note there, that's very small, isn't it? If I press the magnifying glass and just bring this up nice and large, now when I go to the marquee tool, it's dead easy to select it. But when it's very tiny, it's really hard to get your finger on. So if you're having trouble selecting notes on the grid, make them bigger, and that's much easier to do that. Right, so if I press this pad here, which you can't see, it says bully finger, this is the hi-hat. Notice pressing that pad has selected all those hi-hat notes on that line, all the same pitch if you like. Now if I press the pad, notice I had to come away from it and come back to it and then it's selected. See? So if I press the pad again, it won't select. But if I go to the snare, that will all select. Lose that, come back to the hi-hat. So you can't deselect and then press it again. Can you press this to reselect? Yes, you can. So it's a bit fussy in that respect, but anyway, it's a good way of selecting all the notes that are the same. For instance, these are all these hi-hat notes. So if I show you that in another view, go to a synth patch like this. Let's go to the synth bass, grid. Again, let's make it bigger. Okay, so let's see a few notes here. So if I press this note here, they all selected. That was with the magnifying glass. Go to the marquee, come away from it, deselect. Now it won't reselect that. So if I select another set of notes, lose that, come back to that, and then they will reselect. Yeah, you can't deselect, come back and reselect. It's a bit strange. Anyway, don't worry about that. It's a bit sort of bit silly, but anyway, something to know. And of course, if you've got a note selected and you want to change it, let's say I want to change the edit start, so I can do it with the data dial like this. I can also do it with the plus button and the minus button. I forgot about those buttons, but they're also useful for that, aren't they? Plus and minus buttons, don't forget about those. So those are a few things I should have mentioned in my last video. I should explain that with these videos I make them, and then very often as soon as I've made them I realise I've missed things or got something wrong. Like I say in the beginning of the video, I'm just passing on to you things as I learn them. So I'm not saying I'll always get it spot on. I might miss things, but I will always endeavour to come back and get things right. I use lens cleaner, by the way, this stuff here, for cleaning this screen and the tissue, soft tissue. It's a nightmare trying to keep this thing clean for videos and keep thumbprints off it. And then it leaves a bit of a residue, so you need to come off that. Yeah, it still leaves that residue, so use the original black cleaning cloth you get with the machine. Try and get all the marks off. It's really hard to keep this thing clean for videos. Okay, let's switch on again. Just so you know, when you boot the machine up, it always boots up kind of empty, just a default drum kit. There's nothing in it. So if I press play, see, there's nothing there. So you have to load in a fresh project every time. I'm going to load in my funny little 4-track thing, which is quite useful for this. I want to talk about the automation. I'm not going to do everything that there is about automation. Right, I'm going to bring up an audio track to show you this automation. So double tap grid, or edit if you like, and that's our automation. Now if I hold shift, I can solo this. Ooh, ooh, ooh. So there's my ooh that I recorded for that particular project. Now this disclosure arrow here, if I press it, it brings up this empty screen here, and it's set to track volume. Now if I select the pencil tool there, I can draw in a volume curve. So this should start at full volume and then drop down. It gets softer and softer and fades out. So obviously that's not a lot of good. Let's just change that. So we'll have it coming down the middle and going up at the end. Okay, so that's volume. If you don't like what you've done, just press the trash can and redo it. So I'll have it sort of starting there and going up to there, something like that. That's fine. And you can do this with the track running. So I'll trash that. When this repeats, you'll see how that works with that curve. Just dropping a bit there. Then gradually coming up. Okay, so that's a bit of automation on the volume, but you're not stuck with just one thing. If I press here and press down on the data dial and go to add new, I could add all kinds of things here. Let's go to mixer, press down, go to pan, press down, and now I can draw in a curve for the pan. It should start in the right speaker and end in the left. And we've still got our volume curve, so if I press this and just rotate the data dial, volume curve, pan curve. Let's do another one. Let's press down, add new. Let's go to the reverb, the insert to, which is this reverb large. Press down on that and we'll choose the dry wet. So we'll draw a curve here, like that. So now we've got the volume curve, the pan curve and the reverb curve, and it should get wetter, should get more reverby as it goes. That's really good, isn't it? Let's go to the drums, solo that track. Okay, that's good. Now to draw a velocity curve, just put your fingers somewhere on a blank space. So here, for instance, make sure you're on the pencil tool, of course, and now you can draw a nice curve like that. You hear that going up and down. I can do volume here as well. Just push down, go down to add new, mixer, volume, and now I can draw a volume curve here. So we'll have a one like that. Play that. You probably wouldn't want that in real life, but there you are. Down and up. What else could we do? We could do a pan, I suppose. Add new, mixer, pan. Let's do a left to right this time. Don't forget, still got the volume curve as well. If I press here, there's the volume curve, there's the pan curve. So you can draw automation in on that sort of track as well, on a drum track. And obviously you could do it on, let's try the synth bass. Right, so on the synth bass we've soloed it, grid, and again we could draw a velocity curve here. Notice as the velocity curve drops down, we've got these yellow blocks here and red where it's high. Good, let's go back to a drum track. Now, I showed you the velocity. I talked about this a bit in my last video. So let's just select this hi-hat, marquee tool. Now it's easier to select, you see. Let's make it a bit bigger, so we'll edit the end. We'll do it with the plus button, like that. Bring it back a bit so it's a bit longer now. And we'll also make it a little bit louder as well. So velocity, automation. So we'll bring that velocity curve up so it's nice and loud. We'll also make it a little bit shorter, like that. So we've got a nice loud hi-hat there that we can work with. Let's show you a couple of things on this. Velocity we've shown you. We'll bypass probability for the moment, go to Ratchet. Now we'll press automation and it's off to start with. Look at the number here, it's rather faint. 2, 3, so we'll try 4, play it. And you hear that ratchet there. You can see what's happened here as well. Let's change that, let's change it to 3. So that's how you add a ratchet. And we'll just lose that, turn that off. Let's try probability. So Ratchet, just click on that, scroll back to probability, select the note. Now at the moment it's 100%, it's going to sound every time. Let's drop it down to something quite low, like, I don't know, 56. It won't sound every time, that's for sure. Sounded that time, not that time, not that time, not that time. Sounded that time. So you can change the probability like that. So you can change the velocity, the probability, the ratchet. Now articulation, these are funny little sort of drumming things. If you scroll up and down here, you'll see got all these different things: 20 tuplet, 15 tuplet, 12, 10 tuplet, 7 tuplet. Let's try something like buzz roll. Got to go back to probabilities. I want to hear this every time, so we'll bring this all the way up to 100%. Let's go back to articulation. There's that. Let's try another one. So you can get a very, very interesting drum track very quickly this way by adding articulations, changing the probability, the ratchets, velocity, lots of things you can do. Now these articulations, they range from all the way up, which is pad default, to none, and then everything in between. See? So watch out for that. Okay, and of course you can do that on other sounds as well. So if we come back to the main, turn that off, go to the synth bass, this note here, select it. So you could change the velocity, there you see, or you could go to probability, ratchet. You can have ratchets on basses, I think. So let's make it 3. Yeah, probably a bit silly on the bass, but you can do ratchets on bass as well. Now, if I press the select tool and press on the waveform here, I wanted to show you a couple of more things here. You can fade this waveform in. Let's actually lose that for a minute. So if I press fade in, if you want this waveform to fade in, you can rotate the data dial or press the plus button, but you'll be there forever, I should warn you. I recommend you press down on it, tap something in like 3000 to it, and now you can see, now it'll fade in. Not very clear there because it's not very much. Let's just make that 6000. Now it really will fade in. And of course you can fade out as well. Let's try something a bit less than that, 2500. And it will fade out. So let's do the whole thing, fade in, fade out. You could change the volume of the entire waveform. Just press level and bring it down like this. It'll still do the fade in and fade out. We can bring the volume right up like that. Probably distort a bit, so let's bring it down to there. Now I've on purpose not dealt with this warp thing because this is to do with if you need to slow the track down, obviously the sample needs to fit in with it, and that's what this is all about, this warp semi-fine BPM algorithm. I'm going to deal with that in a separate video when I've really learnt it. That's why I've avoided dealing with that in these last couple of videos, but that will come. But I want to make sure I've really got it under my belt before I show you. So if you make cuts like I've made, you can do edit start, edit end, like that, which is pretty good. You can duplicate, like that. You can always undo things if you get lost. I mean, there's tons of things you can do with audio files. So there we are, that's part 2 of the grid. In the menu, it's known as the grid view, this view here, and hopefully I've filled in a few gaps there. Still not complete, but I feel like I've covered it pretty well. So if you got something from today's video, please give it a like and consider subscribing to my channel. If you want to give me a bit of a helping hand here with the work I do on YouTube, please make a small donation either here on YouTube or preferably on my website, which is www.daddylonglegs.com. Thank you very much for watching, and you'll hear from me very soon, I'm sure. Bye for now.